And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. We're live. Please say hello to the wonderful boys from Queensland, Gold Coast. We have the Oz Latin Brothers, a.k.a. OLB. It is the Salsa Kingz live show, and this is a pre-interview. If you've just joined us and you've come from the show, this is a pre-recording on our YouTube page. Welcome the boys from Queensland. Give them a round of applause. Well, we're not live. We're just hanging out behind the scenes. We have, let me see if I get this right. We have from left to right, we have James. We have Ruben, a.k.a. Manfred, Paul, and Shannon. Good on you guys. Good to see you. Welcome to the YouTube chat or the YouTube hang. And
thanks for having us. Thank you.
I can't wait to have you on the show this Saturday coming up. This will be posted online soon. And we're going to welcome you on the show for the very first time on Saturday, the 9th of May. And you guys have got so much happening. For the people at home who haven't met you, let's start from the beginning because we've got some time here to hang and chat. You're a group that started in Sydney back when I met you guys. You were living in Campbelltown. I believe it was the year 1998. Manfred, run through me a little bit of a history how you guys got started back in the day.
Yeah, well, 1998 marks our first professional gig. Mm-hmm. So first time we played at a small, it was a Latin community club. I was 18 at the time, Paul was 8. So we were just young kids. And our payment on that night was empanadas for the band.
Hey,
so
we've all done that.
I always remember. Empanadas chilenas too, eh? They were really good. They were good. Yeah, they were really good.
You gotta watch La Cebolla. Watch La Cebolla.
Yeah. And so, so we were playing like, the little standards like Mambo Number 5, the old Pettis Brother classics, Rancancan. And then 98, so the Cup of Life, Ricky Martin was big, so we were playing that, we were covering that. Yeah, that's right. So, y empezamos, no? We were just playing at home, practicing. I was at uni at the time doing music, and my brothers were at Campbelltown Performing Arts High, so they were always playing. So while we were at home, we just started getting songs together. And yeah, so we've been playing professionally for what, 22 years now? So
about time, yeah.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Oh, guys, look, it's really good to have you here, and just a way to hang out. Obviously, we've all been locked up as part of the COVID-19, procedures and keeping the country safe. But like I was chatting to you before, this gives us time to start reconnecting with old friends. In this case, I believe you jumped on one of our show comments a couple of weeks ago, and very soon after, right. Lautaro jumped online and said, "Hey, Manfred, you should jump on the show one day." And of course,
Lautaro, an old friend from uni. So yeah, I know Lautaro from years ago. Yeah. So,
again, and here's the example of just things coming around, and we've got some time to chill. I was telling you earlier that I've had some time to relax now and listen to other people's music, and now this is a way we can connect and find out a little bit more about some people who don't know. Everyone's living such a fast-paced life that this show, even this interview, gives us a chance to connect. And for the people at home, one of the things that I think admire most about such a young group that I had a chance to work with, I remember jumping on your stage. I remember having Manfred jumping on my stage. And had you stayed in Sydney a little longer, I am sure we would have done so many things together. We would have had bands back to back, and I've always been, a cheerleader of new groups, a cheerleader of Oz Latin Brothers, or OLB. Back then, you weren't even called that back then, I don't think. I can't remember what.
No, it was Oz Latin Brothers, and that became too much of a mouthful, a bit too long. So we went for the acronym OLB. It was a bit quicker, easier.
I totally get it. But look, and coming back again now, here we are sitting down having a chat to see how things have gone. When did you guys decide to move from Sydney to Gold Coast? How did that happen? Tell us a little bit about that story.
So that was in 2007. Well, I finally came up. These guys came up. So the family came up 2005. One of the main reasons, Sydney was getting a bit expensive housing that time, and we needed a bigger place. I mean, I was telling you before off air, I think about we used to rehearse and we'd get sometimes neighbors complaining. So now we moved up to Queensland, a bigger place where it's a bit more isolated where we are. We live out in the country, and we can make as much noise as we want in our recording studio. So it worked out well.
Mate, that's fantastic. What about your music? You've got a new song coming on. and we had a bit of a chat. Tell us a little about one of your latest projects, because for the people at home, one of the things that I loved about you guys is the fact that you've been producing your own song way before a lot of people were doing it. And that's one of your abilities that you've got as a team to rely with your brothers. First of all, talk about a little bit about how your process of writing music. How did you start pushing original music? And then if we've got some time, we'll play one of your latest songs. That'd be fantastic.
All right. Well, it's funny. One of our first songs that we played as a band, so back in 98, in fact 97 when we were learning, I wrote a very simple song. It was kind of like a mambo sort of thing, and it's called Salsa Ugarte. Our surname Ugarte. Yeah. So I named it. It was very easy. Bam, 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 bam. You know, very easy. So these guys could play it, and that was our first original. Yeah. And then ever since then, you know, I've always liked writing. So sit on a guitar. They start off like, you know, ballads, like, you know, songs. You start writing. And then this next song that we're releasing is called Lo Mismo, the same. And it's a song that I started writing probably about 5 years ago. And it was always one of those songs that was in the back of my head. I never did anything with it, you know. You pick up the guitar, you play, then you forget about it. And then just recently, about a year ago, we thought, oh, why don't we use a melody and do like a salsa version of it? Yeah. So it was originally written in English. So what I've done is I've done one verse in Spanish and English. So I've been trying to release songs that are in both languages, so English and Spanish, trying to mix it up a bit. You know? Yeah, so see how we go. So I hope you like it. We'll be playing it soon.
Great, great. And now tell me a little bit about the scene. I know you guys are all working and we've gone through that. Now it's been 1998, it's been 22 years now, and you all have grown up, but it's great to see that you're still connected as brothers, and that is beautiful to see. I love it that you're together, and you know, some of you look the same. You haven't changed much. You know, like I was talking to Paul.
Look, the same Christian.
Yeah, man. Look, I got little white hairs coming out now, and look at that. No, that's all special. I got a filter. That's what it is. But moving on that, guys, I really, really love what you guys were doing back then, and that you've stayed together as family. You know, and that's unique for these times. And now that we're all being in a new world of taking care of COVID-19 and taking care of each other as a family. I mean, you're a little bit too close, but that's okay. That's family. You know? Make sure you get some hand wipes there. You know? Guys, I can't wait to hear the song. We're going to play it in just a second for those of you watching at home. And on Saturday, I really look forward to eventually having you live in the studio. But obviously, we're going to cross and do the same thing. And I'll be in my suit, you know, we'll have the show and the commercials. It's a different environment, but here, the reason I wanted to catch on to you guys off air is because I can find out a little bit more about you. So we were talking earlier. Let's go through a little bit of your backgrounds. Let's start with James. James, you were telling us apart from doing music with your brothers, you've gone now to study a career in?
Yeah, in design and media production. So I do things to do with video, graphic design, web, and I'm actually a lecturer at uni, so I teach these things at uni for new and upcoming designers and artists.
Are you a tough lecturer, or are you?
No, I don't try to be. No.
Well, James, I think I told you this before. I think we're going to have to talk and get you to become a graphic designer for our up and coming work in the studio. That'd be great as soon as we grow. So pay attention, directors and producers. We've got a new graphic designer from Queensland. Let's move on to Ruben. You've always been a teacher, right? You've had that teaching career. Tell us a little bit about what's happening.
Well, so I'm a secondary teacher. So I've been doing that for, that's been my career. I'm a music teacher and also now doing history and English, so humanities subjects. So it's been going good. You know, it's a living and it's great. I mean, I've been having to going into work, even though it's kids get to stay home here in Queensland anyway. So year 11 and 12 starting on Monday. So we'll see that'll change things a bit.
My hat's off to all the teachers. It's a tough gig you guys are doing now.
Cheers, thank you.
Let's move on to Paul. Paul, you know, you still look very young to me, but you were just telling me off camera. Paul is now 29.
Yeah, that's right. I'm turning 30 this year.
Turning 30. What's your background? What are you doing these days with yourself?
I'm currently studying a Masters of Education to also become a teacher in music.
Very nice.
So prior to that, I was studying at the con, studying jazz trumpet.
Nice.
So ended that, and yeah.
The master. The master.
Yeah.
The master. The master Jedi.
The master Jedi.
James, Shannon, we'll move on to Shannon. Shannon, tell us about what you're doing behind the scenes.
Well, behind the scenes, I've just finished doing a degree already at the university. So now I'm actually at the point of trying to find some work.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
we'll talk to you later. Look, I hope that when we come out of this, that more people find out about what you're doing. You're located in the Gold Coast, but you're off. You were telling me that you're off the city. You're in a rural part of the country. Is that right?
Yeah, it's called the Scenic Rim. So it's the rural area of the Gold Coast. It's quite lovely, yeah.
Perfect place to make noise and make salsa.
As much noise as we want.
Yeah.
Well, you know, moving on to your music, I always admired you, and I'm not trying to sound like giving you guys a big head, but one of the things that you were way ahead of the curve in my books, maybe it's because of your heritage with the Peruvian music. You had access to timba before I did, and some of your flares, even your tumbaos back then, Ruben, I remember you had that timba flare, and you had some really nice chops in salsa. You really understood the way to structure. And coming from a guy like myself, who I'm more the entertainer, more the covers band, and more I really look at the music that I choose for the band to cover. It's got to be juicy. It's going to have sabor. Como dice Tony Zucker, sabor. And I had a little snippet of what you've done. Well, I've been watching what you've done over the years. But this last tune that you've got here, that you're working now, Lo Mismo se llama?
Sí.
Lo Mismo, man, I think that could be a hit, my friend. And all it takes is people to take it globally. You know, we need more awareness. We need to push it. And one of the things that we've been talking with other artists is this COVID-19 has brought us together. Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane now. And I think we need to work with each other to gang up together. And
exactly.
As soon as your video is ready, I'm going to tell everyone to back you guys up. And I'm sure everyone in Sydney will back you up because things are changing. And well, tell me a little bit more. So you had 5 years of writing this song. Why is it called Lo Mismo? Tell me a little bit more about the song.
All right. Well, the premise of the song is about we've all been there, you know, someone that breaks up, and then you're thinking about the person, you're asking, do you still feel the same way? You know, siente lo mismo? No. Yeah, you know, so it's a typical love song. So
you never know. Maybe a telenovela will pick it up. You know.
Yeah. Turn it into a movie.
Perfect. Yeah, that's it. That's another concept. And man, well, I think you're gonna have to get onto a video clip, and as soon as you got it ready, mate, we're gonna promote it.
Can we just say, ever since our days in Sydney, you've always been someone who's pushing the Latin culture. So we'd like to thank you as well for making these shows possible. We think it's a great idea. We can connect, like you said, connect with musicians around Australia. And one of the things that we learned in this business many years was it's a small community, the Latin musicians. And we found one of the main things you can have is humility. Yeah. So we're very humbled to be on your show, Chris. So thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. And look, and you know, for the people at home, we have been in touch through the years. Even though you've been in Queensland for a lot of years, I came up to do a wedding, and you know, not every wedding is a massive budget. And I remember they wanted us to come for whatever reason it was, or they met us before. And weddings are a personal thing. It has nothing to do with, you know, for up and coming musicians that I really want to teach, has nothing to do whether one band's better than the other. It's all got to do with what the bride generally loves and what she fell in love with, or she danced to either this band or that band. So I'm on the way up, and we had to do a show up there, and I rang you guys and I said, guys, look, it's a really tight budget wedding. I've got a little bit of money. Rather than giving it to unknown person in Brisbane, how about you guys help us out here by supplying the instruments, what we call the backline, and the sound. And that was proof to me how our friendship, you guys have said, yep, absolutely, we'd love to be part of that. And I remember you guys put up the instruments, made it a lot easier for us. And then you guys came down a few years later. We bumped into it at a restaurant I was playing, and that was just the beginning. You know, I think we cannot let that go. I think we need to do that more after this COVID comes back. I love to see Australia make a mark in the world music of salsa and Latin music and urban Latin, urban salsa, all the genre that we come, because there's a lot of talent.
We have so much talent here in Australia. Yeah.
We do. And I think because we're so spread apart, sometimes we fall into the trap of, you know, distancing ourselves and not giving us enough time to reach out. And I think, look, this is the beginning. I'm going to push forward. I've learned a lot from other musicians as well. Look how things have been treated in South America, even in Miami. You've got, you know, your I'll say it in Spanish, tu compatriota, no? Tu pana. Tony Zucker. Tony Zucker's done great things. And he's got such a great energy. And I actually was chatting with him because we said, look, we want to get to know you. Lillian started connecting with Tony, and he's now busy. Now he won 2-3 awards this year. Yeah. Y Sabor para Peru and up and coming musicians. He's very inspirational. I love his style and I love how quickly he works. You know, he works so quick.
Very dedicated, I think. Yeah.
Very dedicated. He's fallen. Yeah, he's even falling. He's falling into hospital a few times out of dehydration because he forgot to drink water. So, salud. So, without further ado, I'm doing all the talking, guys. I know that the scene has been hard. It's not always fair, and I want to give hope to all the musicians, the up and coming musicians, to not give up, because it's easy. It's easy. It's a lot easier to give up. Trust me. And I've given up a few times, believe it or not. So for the people who are listening, musicians that are up and coming, you guys started when you were 18. Paul, how old were you when you started?
I was 8.
8. I remember El Chiquitito, and you were cute in the background, still cute. Para las chicas que están ahí. ¿Quién está soltero? ¿Quién está soltero? ¿Están solteros? Solteros. Watch out, girls. So look, I'm already talking to people about doing festivals around the country. Maybe do a concert festival, and it's going to require a lot of effort. But if we don't do this, we won't leave the next generation to.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, so.
Sounds great. Count us in,
guys. Look, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get you now to play your song so everyone can hear it, and with that, at the end of the song, we'll say goodbye so we can see you on the live show on Saturday. Okay?
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you. Have a good.
Listo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say buena suerte, mucha suerte a los chicos, a la familia, saludos a los papis, a todos los amigos en Perú y la familia.
Muchas gracias.
Para que estamos tratando de traer nuestra música de Australia al mundo, como dijo Oscar de León, para el mundo. So let's hear the new song. This is a pre-release. You're very lucky if you're on this channel on YouTube, you can hear this song. Let's hear it right now.
Está cayendo y sin cesar, la ausencia de tus besos me mata. Ay, ¿qué será de mí? Nunca imaginé que iba a pasar, que nuestro bello amor terminara. Pero vives en mí y cada día que pasa aumenta el dolor de tu partida. Ay, mira. Vives y piensas en mí, si hay amor dentro de ti. Te confieso que siento lo mismo. Dime que standing in the middle of the rain, broken hearted calling out your name. How'd it go wrong for me? We said that our love would always last. Now it's just a fragment in the past. But you live inside of me. 'Cause every time I close my eyes, I dream of you. It makes me cry. Please help me. Please tell me, yeah. Do you still think of me like how it once used to be? 'Cause I hope you know I feel the same way. Do you still feel the pain that I feel? Is that the same? I want you to know I feel the same way too. Yes, I do. Y con la mano arriba. A ver, a ver. Woo. Dime si piensas en mí, lo mismo que yo a ti. Yo sigo pensando en tu bella sonrisa, siempre lo estoy soñando. Do you still think of me the way we used to be? Every night I dream of you, girl, can't you see? I need you here with me. Ay. Hey. Dime si piensas en mí, lo mismo que yo a ti. Si hay amor dentro de ti, dímelo de una vez, no me hagas sufrir. Do you still think of me the way we used to be? 'Cause every time I close my eyes, I dream of you, girl. Do you realize? Woo. Ay, qué rico. Con sabor. Y de nuevo. This is OLB. Con sabor. Nunca imaginé que iba a pasar. Te necesito junto a mí, que nuestro bello amor terminará. Because I need you here with me. So tell me that you miss the love we share. Because I need you here with me. I will say lo mismo, the same. Te necesito junto a mí. ¿Y qué diré? Que yo siento lo mismo. I feel the same way. Y ahí.
Con Oz Latin Brothers, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to say goodnight to them and stay on because I'm going to have a chat to you offline. Pero un abrazo fuerte, amigos.
Thank you very much.
Keep
Thanks,
an eye
sisters.
keep an eye on these guys. Find them on Facebook. Están on Spotify y ¿dónde más? YouTube y todas las plataformas.
Yeah.
And all the socials, yeah.
Todas las plataformas.
Los vemos el sábado en el programa Salsa Kingz Live a las 8 en Sydney, ¿ok? En Perú parece que van a ser las 5 de la mañana, por si acaso, ¿ok?
Qué buen día. Yeah.
Okay.
Muchas gracias. Buenas noches.
Saludos.
Chao, chao.
Gracias.